If you want to run long distances, then you have to develop efficiency of stride, and you have to have the capabilities of doing it over that long period of time. You should flip the question. Is that why is everyone not running long distances? That's what you should be thinking about evolutionary-wise, because we're put together to do it. If you want to run long distances, then you have to develop efficiency of stride, and you have to have the capabilities of doing it over that long period of time. So you ask the question, have you run at all? If you haven't run at all, then you have to run little bits, and you need to gain volume at a really slow rate to get to the point for you to be able to maintain over a really long period of time. People want to run a marathon in 6 months and they haven't run before. That doesn't make that running wrong. It makes the fact that they just didn't train 7 years for it wrong. Running should be very capable for a lot of people. It's that people a lot of individuals get ahead of themselves and they can't handle the volume, or the volume increases too soon. So someone has run 0, then you want to get them up to being able to run 30 seconds and then walking for 4.5 minutes. Okay, so that 30-second pace that they're running, they're just happy to be running. They're like, this is the greatest thing in the world, you know? But you're trying to be efficient, right? There's a lot of work that goes into the efficiency, but I'm just giving you in work and rest so I can give you an idea here. So that's a 5-minute block, right? And people can do that 1 or 2 times, right? Even 3 times, that's great. Let's just say they're going to do it 2 to 3 times the first chance, right? Then you're going to give yourself a couple of days break, because even with that 30 seconds, that's more challenging. It's almost like single leg lunges for 30 seconds a couple of times, right? So it's a little more challenging, because it's around 250% of your body weight when you start running. Remember that phase transition of walking into running? This goes from like a very low percentage of body weight into 250% of your body weight, comes down every step into that foot. So you need to do it for 30 seconds, so mechanically after the end of 30 seconds, your brain can recover. 4.5 minutes later, you try it again. You do that twice. A couple of days later, you guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to run for 60 seconds now, and I'm going to walk for 4 minutes. And I'm doing the same thing 2 to 3 times. And you see what I'm doing? I'm just interchanging this increased period of time in running. That's efficient and sustainable, right? And then I'm going to walk for the rest of it, because I'm still upright. I'm still building some volume on my feet. But over time, you can see that I've developed these 15-minute blocks of running, where eventually, weeks and weeks and weeks down the road, which is probably 8 to 12 weeks, I'd say. So think about that, 3 months, where a person is going to be able to run for 15 minutes straight. So if someone says, oh, I want to run a marathon, the average marathon time for the new person is 4 hours and 30 minutes. So the first question you should ask that person is, have you stood up for 4.5 hours before? Have you walked for 4.5 hours before? So you can see that all the arguments on, you know, what you should do in a training program then is like, I only have 9 months. That's not my fucking problem, right? You need to have more time. You need to recognize this 4-in-1 protocol. To get to 15 minutes needs to be extrapolated for years. So someone could run steady state for 30 minutes. Then they run steady state for 45. Then they run steady state for 90. You see where I'm going here, right? They need to be able to run steady state for 4 hours or more before they even consider long distance running to be able to do it. Because what's the ideal of running long distance? You should be able to run long distance, stop, get in the pool, grab some lunch, and the next day you should be able to run again. And if you can't do that, then you're not running long distance. You're surviving for 4 hours of running. So we eventually have to make that, and if you look at all the great runners, albeit they're light and they're probably put together for it, they can run like that every day without injury. Why? Because they're capable and they've put the volume in. Secondarily, remember the comment over here of the 250% body weight. That does have an effect on the nervous system. Concurrent methods of research that's been done on resistance versus aerobic training, where it all got confused, is that they look at people who are doing squatting and then running. So you should know that if you run, your probably improvements of strength are going to be low because of the eccentric nature of the running, right? You can still do aerobic non-eccentric activity and still get stronger, but we forgot to see of the fact that running can have a CNS effect that's really high. So if you want to get to your ultimate potential of strength alone in a silo, then yes, running will limit that. You need to develop the aerobic system through running first for a long period of time, and then start to build strength once you've developed aerobic running. Because think about that, if I get up to the point where I can run 5 or 6 days a week in the morning for 30 minutes, and it's no big deal, right? I'm just out running with my dog and it's no big deal, I will now be able to gain improvements in strength. Why? Because that effect of running is not having the deleterious effect it was previously having when I started running. I hope that makes sense. So if you're doing both of them at the same time and someone's got zero experience in running, then yeah, their strength is going to go down. Why? Because running is a real big jam on the CNS. But give it months and months and months and months and strength stays the same, try to hang on to it. As they get more aerobic in running, you'll start to see this strength go back up because now the power around running, it's going to improve massive cardiovascular adaptations. And if you create an increase in the cardiovascular system, guess what's going to happen when you start to do strength training? You're going to recover faster between all the work you're doing over here. So it's going to take time to come back up to level out so you can see that improvements in strength. This is ironically observed very highly in the world of mixed modal, where athletes who had done the mixed modal sport for 6 to 8 years and they started doing interval running program, it actually made them better athletes. And the reason being is that they had run a lot, right? They've already built the volume. They didn't get that deleterious effect of the running. It actually improved their cardiovascular system because it raised their cardiac output.